Imagine a world without telescopes, without GPS. Yet ancient civilizations meticulously charted the stars with incredible precision. How did they do it? Prepare to have your mind blown as we uncover the ingenious techniques and groundbreaking discoveries of the world's first astronomers. From the very beginning, humanity has looked up at the night sky with a sense of wonder. Those twinkling lights were woven into our earliest myths and legend stelaes of gods, goddesses, and epic heroes painted across the celestial canvas. For thousands of years, these stories were our primary way of understanding the cosmos. But slowly, something began to change. Curiosity sparked a shift from purely mystical interpretations to practical, systematic observation. We started asking not just who was up there, but what and how. This was the dawn of astronomy. The moment we went from telling stories about the stars to trying to read the stories they were telling us. It was humanity's first giant leap from myth to mapping. So, how did they start this monumental task without the aid of modern technology? With sheer ingenuity. The tools they created were simple in design but brilliant in application. Take the gnomon. For instance, it was essentially a vertical stick, but by tracking the length and direction of its shadow throughout the day and year, ancient observers could determine the solstices, the equinoxes, and the precise length of a year. It was a solar-powered clock and calendar, all in one. Then came more sophisticated instruments. The astrolabe, a beautiful and complex device, was like an ancient analog computer. It could measure the altitude of stars and planets above the horizon, tell time, and even help with navigation. And for a more comprehensive view, they built armillary spheres, intricate models of the celestial sphere with interlocking rings representing the equator, the ecliptic, and other important celestial circles. These weren't just decorative, they were dynamic tools for tracking the complex dance of the heavens. Gathering data with these instruments required immense patience. It meant waking before dawn and staying up through the coldest nights, year after year, generation after generation, recording every subtle shift in the sky. This dedication wasn't just confined to a few clever individuals. It led to the construction of some of the most mysterious and awe-inspiring structures on Earth. We're talking about ancient observatories, monuments built on a massive scale, all aligned with the cosmos. Think of Stonehenge in England. For centuries, its purpose was a mystery, but we now know its massive stones are precisely aligned to the sunrise on the summer solstice and the sunset on the winter solstice. It was a giant, sacred calendar built from stone. In Egypt, the Great Pyramids of Giza aren't just tombs. Their shafts point directly towards specific stars, like those in Orion's belt, which held deep religious significance. And across the Atlantic, the Mayans at Chichen, Itza, built El Caraco, a round observatory with windows strategically placed to track the movements of Venus, a planet central to their cosmology and calendar. These weren't just buildings, they were temples of science, places where the earth met the sky, and where the movements of the heavens were watched, recorded, and revered. They stand as silent testaments to the profound astronomical knowledge of our ancestors. This global pursuit of knowledge was driven by brilliant pioneers across various civilizations. The Babylonians, meticulous record keepers, created star catalogs on clay tablets, and were the first to recognize that astronomical phenomena were their detailed observations of planetary movements and eclipses, spanning centuries, laid the mathematical groundwork for all who followed. In Egypt, the heliacal rising of the star Sirius, just before sunrise, was used to predict the annual flooding of the Nile, a vital event for their agriculture. This practical application cemented the link between the heavens and survival on Earth. Then you have the ancient Greeks, who took this observational data and sought to create a geometric model of the universe. The legendary astronomer Hipparchus, working in the 2nd century BC, is a titan of this era. Using data from the Babylonians in his own meticulous observations, he created the first known comprehensive star catalog, listing over 850 stars and, incredibly, documenting their brightness. He also discovered the precession of the equinoxes, the slow wobble of Earth's axis, a cycle that takes nearly 26,000 years to complete. Think about the level of precision and long-term data analysis required to spot that. Building on Hipparchus's work, Claudius Ptolemy in the 2nd century AD wrote the Almagest, arguably the most influential scientific text for over 1,400 years. It was a complete manual of Greek astronomy, providing mathematical models to predict the positions of the sun, moon, and planets. His geocentric, or Earth-centered, model of the universe, with its complex system of epicycles, was so successful at predicting celestial events that it became the undisputed authority until Copernicus. Meanwhile, in Han Dynasty China, the brilliant scientist and inventor Zheng Heng created the world's first water-powered armillary sphere. This wasn't just a static model. It was a rotating celestial globe that moved in sync with the actual sky, a planetarium for its time. He also compiled a star catalog of his own, containing around 2,500 stars. Across the globe, in Central America, the Mayans developed one of the most complex and accurate calendar systems ever created, based on their deep understanding of the cycles of the sun, moon, and Venus. These pioneers, though separated by vast distances and different cultures, were all part of the same grand project: to create a coordinate system for the sky, to plot the stars, and to bring order to the chaos above. So what did all this painstaking observation actually achieve? It completely transformed human society. These ancient discoveries were not just academic exercises. They were the bedrock of civilization. The ability to predict the seasons by watching the stars determined when to plant and when to harvest, preventing famine and allowing communities to grow. The lunar cycles formed the basis of the earliest calendars, organizing religious festivals, social events, and civic life. For mariners venturing into the open ocean, the stars were their only reliable map. The North Star Polaris became a fixed beacon in the northern hemisphere, allowing sailors to navigate vast, featureless seas and connect the world through trade and exploration. This knowledge wasn't hoarded. The astronomical data of the Babylonians was used by the Greeks. Greek knowledge, preserved and expanded upon by Islamic scholars during Europe's Dark Ages, was later reintroduced to Europe, fueling the Renaissance. The astronomical tables from China and the Middle East traveled along the Silk Road. It was a global, collaborative effort spanning millennia, a testament to our shared human desire to understand our place in the cosmos. The legacy of these ancient skywatchers is all around us. The very foundations of modern science, principles of empirical observation, mathematical modeling, and peer reviewer, born from their work. When Copernicus and Kepler sparked the scientific revolution by proposing a sun-centered solar system, they weren't starting from scratch. They were standing on the shoulders of giants like Hipparchus and Ptolemy, using their ancient data to test new theories. The star names we use today, like Betelgeuse and Aldebaran, have Arabic origins, passed down from the Islamic Golden Age of astronomy. The constellations we recognize, like Orion and Ursa Major, were first catalogued by the Greeks and Babylonians. Even the way we measure time and angle 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 360 degrees in a circles. A direct inheritance from the basic decounting system of ancient Babylon. Every time we check a calendar, use GPS for navigation, or gaze up at the stars through a powerful telescope, we are tapping into a continuous stream of knowledge that began thousands of years ago with a simple stick in the ground and a curious human looking up. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, take a moment to think about the countless generations who looked at those same stars with nothing but their naked eyes. They didn't have supercomputers or space telescopes, but with brilliant minds, simple tools, and incredible dedication. They mapped the heavens. They gave us the first cosmic map, a legacy of curiosity and discovery that continues to drive us today as we send rovers to Mars and peer into the deepest corners of the universe. Their quests became our quests, an enduring human journey to understand our place among the stars. What secrets do you think we'll uncover next? Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed uncovering the secrets of these ancient astronomers, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more adventures into the history of science. Let us know in the comments which ancient civilization's achievements impressed you the most. See you in the next video.